Hello everyone. Today we will discuss chapter 7 of Animal Farm, and in this chapter we will see how the reign of terror begins. So, it is a very harsh winter, it, full of bitter cold. In the bitter cold of winter, the animals struggle to rebuild the windmill. In January, they fall short of food. In fact, they work to conceal from the human farmers around them, lest Animal Farm be perceived to be failing. The humans refuse to believe that Snowball caused the destruction of the windmill, saying that the windmill walls simply weren't thick enough. The animals deem this explanation false, but they nevertheless decide to build the walls twice as thick this time. Squealer gives ennobling speeches on the glory of sacrifice, but the other animals acquire their real inspiration from the example of Boxer, who works harder than ever. So, there is a bitter cold. Animals struggle to rebuild the windmill in freezing temperatures while facing severe food shortages. There is hidden starvation. Napoleon orders bins filled with sand and topped with grain to deceive outsiders like Mr. Whymper. There is a show of false prosperity. The farm must appear successful to the outside world despite internal suffering. We have the episode of Hens Revolts. In order to feed the animals, Napoleon he makes a contract to sell 400 eggs a week. The other animals react with shock. One of Old Major's original complaints about humans focused on the cruelty of egg selling. Or so they remember. The hens rebel, and Napoleon responds by cutting their rations entirely. 9 hens die before the others give in to Napoleon's demand. So, this is the episode of Hens Revolt. Napoleon has become a despot. He retaliates, and these are the first casualties of resistance. Then, as we saw in the chapter 6, Snowball has been made the eternal scapegoat. All misfortunes are blamed on Snowball, whom Napoleon accuses of nightly sabotage. As fear grows, every problem on the farm is attributed to the exiled pig. Napoleon uses fear of an invisible enemy to justify increasing control and surveillance. So, the animals hear these words that Snowball is the one who is the scapegoat. They are confused, they are astonished. They remember Snowball's heroism and recall that he received a medal. Boxer in particular is completely baffled. But Napoleon and Squealer convince the others that Snowball's apparent bravery simply constituted part of his treacherous plot. They also work to convince the animals of Napoleon's superior bravery during the battle. So vividly does Squealer describe Napoleon's alleged heroic actions that the animals are almost able to remember them. So, this is the scapegoating that is used by the Napoleon. Then there is another episode, the mass confession. An assembly is called, and in this assembly there is a mass meeting of the animals. With his 9 huge dogs ringed about him and growling, he stages an inquisition and a purge. He forces certain animals to confess to their participation in a conspiracy with Snowball, and then has the dogs tear out the supposed traitor's throat. The dogs, apparently without orders, even attack Boxer, who effortlessly knocks them away with his huge hooves. But 4 pigs and numerous other animals meet their deaths, including the hens who rebelled at the proposal to sell their eggs. So these are the forced confessions. Public executions are done, and there's a total display of terror. The terror and shock spreads on the animal farm. The animals watched in horror as the dogs tore the confessor to pieces. This spectacle shocks the animals, leaving them fearful and demoralized. The public executions mark Napoleon's complete transformation into a tyrant. Then there is the death of hope. Clover, in desperation, begins singing Beast of England to comfort the traumatized animals. But Squealer announces that this song has been banished, it has been abolished, and he says that this anthem is now outdated as there is no need for this anthem. Whatever animals wanted, that has been achieved by them. So there is a effort made by Napoleon and pigs to erase memory of animals. All ideals are destroyed to eliminate the memory of rebellion and hope. Now, the key characters' responses: Boxer's loyalty. Boxers respond by working even harder, reflecting the tragic loyalty of the oppressed masses. Clover, she is full of sorrow. She remembers that no animal killed another animal, highlighting the loss of innocence. And animals are full of fear. They are left demoralized, fearful. Resistance becomes increasingly futile. So, in this chapter, Orwell gives warning. He tells us about totalitarian tactics, propaganda. Language is weaponized to control narrative and justify violence against perceived enemies. There is surveillance. Dogs of Napoleon and other people, they keep surveillance. Whoever is the one who does not agree with them, shows dissent, they are cruelly done away with. Fear is institutionalized through constant threat of discovery and punishment. And there is a revisioning of historical documents, historical facts. Old symbols and songs are erased to eliminate memory of better times. In the chapter 7, we see the complete betrayal. It marks Napoleon's complete transformation from a revolutionary to a tyrant. Through staged confessions, public executions, and destruction of hope, Orwell shows how totalitarian regimes consolidate power through fear and violence.